What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, your go-to source for everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dave, and today we're diving into an intriguing possibility for the Cowboys tight end group. Jake Ferguson narrowly avoided a major injury in Week 1, but should the Cowboys consider bringing in a veteran free agent just to be safe? CJ Uzomah, a former New York Jets tight end, has become available, and he might be the insurance policy Dallas needs. We're going to break it all down, but before we dive into the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're closing in on our goal of 11,000 subscribers, and with your support, we can reach that milestone even faster. Now, let's get into it. Jake Ferguson gave Cowboys Nation quite the scare during last Sunday's game against the Cleveland Browns. Early reports feared a serious ACL injury, but just days later, Ferguson gave us all some much-needed relief. According to The Athletic's John Machota, Ferguson said the pain in his knee has completely subsided, and it turns out it was just a bone bruise, nothing more. That's a big win for the Cowboys, as Ferguson has become the clear leader in the tight end group after his breakout 2023 season with 71 receptions, 761 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But here's the thing. Even though Ferguson seems to have dodged a bullet, it might be smart for the Cowboys to look at some backup options, just in case. Injuries can flare up, and you never want to be caught unprepared in a long NFL season. That's where a player like CJ Uzomah comes into play. The former Auburn Tiger and New York Jet is a free agent, and while he didn't make the cut with the Philadelphia Eagles recently, his experience could be exactly what the Cowboys need to bolster their tight end room. Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Should the Cowboys sign Uzomah as extra insurance, or do you believe we're fine with the tight ends we have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a discussion going. Plus, make sure to vote in our poll about whether Dallas should bring in a veteran TE or stick with the current group. We love hearing your opinions. Why Uzomah makes sense. Let's talk about why CJ Uzomah might be the perfect fit for Dallas. Sure, he hasn't been a top-tier tight end in terms of production, but Uzomah has 192 receptions, 1,891 yards, and 16 touchdowns to his name over his 9-year NFL career. That's not something to overlook, especially for a Cowboys TE group that's fairly young. We've got Luke Schoonmaker and Hunter Luepke in their second NFL seasons, and while they've both shown potential, bringing in a veteran like Uzomah could provide some stability. If Ferguson's injury lingers or, heaven forbid, worsens, having a guy like Uzomah in the mix makes all the sense in the world. He's a proven commodity, and his 9 years of experience would add value to a group of young and developing tight ends. Jake Ferguson's injury update. But here's the good news, Cowboys fans, Jake Ferguson's injury might not be as bad as we initially feared. After the game, it looked like Ferguson could be dealing with a serious knee injury, possibly an ACL tear. The pain was intense, he rated it a 10 out of 10 at the time. However, just a few days later, Ferguson revealed that the pain was completely gone. He described it as a minor bone bruise, something that shouldn't even be classified as a grade 1 injury. That's great news for the Cowboys because Ferguson is set to be a key player in this offense. Cowboys Nation, are you feeling relieved after hearing this update on Ferguson? Or are you still a little concerned that this injury could impact his performance down the road? Let us know your thoughts, and while you're at it, hit that like button if you're excited to see Ferguson back in action soon. The role of Hunter Luepke. Now, while we're on the topic of Ferguson's potential replacements, let's talk about Hunter Luepke. There's a growing belief that Dallas might already have the answer on their roster. Blogging the Boys writer Brian Martin recently pointed out that Luepke could be the solution if Ferguson isn't 100% ready to go. Luepke, who primarily plays fullback, has shown versatility and could take over some tight end duties if needed. In fact, against Cleveland, Luepke lined up as an inline tight end on 10 snaps, more than he did as a traditional fullback. His flexibility means that the Cowboys can seamlessly switch between different offensive formations, which could be a real advantage against a tough Saints defense in Week 2. So, Cowboys Nation, Do you think Luepke should get more snaps at tight end if Ferguson is rested this week? Or do you think we should be playing it safe by going after a veteran like Uzomah? Sound off in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. The importance of depth. Depth is something that every NFL team needs to prioritize, especially when it comes to key positions like tight end. The Cowboys have been fortunate that Ferguson's injury isn't serious, but adding a veteran like Uzomah would provide extra security. Remember, football is a long season, and injuries can happen at any time. Even if Ferguson is healthy now, having a reliable backup in Uzomah could save the Cowboys from scrambling if anything changes down the line. Plus, when you look at the Cowboys TE group, there's not a lot of experience outside of Ferguson. Schoonmaker and Luepke are still developing, and while they have tons of potential, it never hurts to have a veteran presence in the locker room to help guide the younger guys. What's next for the Cowboys? As we gear up for Week 2, the Cowboys will be keeping a close eye on Jake Ferguson's status. It's likely that he'll play, but if there's even the slightest chance of aggravating his knee, we might see more of Hunter Luepke or another tight end stepping up. And who knows? If the Cowboys are feeling extra cautious, don't be surprised if they start looking at the free agent market for reinforcements. But what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Should Dallas stand pat and trust that Ferguson will be fine, or should they make a move and bring in Uzomah or another veteran tight end? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, make sure to subscribe to Cowboys News TV if you haven't already. We're so close to hitting 11,000 subscribers, and we'd love to have you join the community. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on all things Cowboys. Wrapping it up. Alright, Cowboys fans, that's going to do it for today's video. We've got a lot to look forward to as the season rolls on, and we'll be keeping a close eye on Jake Ferguson's status as we prepare for the game against the Saints. If you haven't yet, make sure to like this video and share it with your fellow Cowboys fans. Your support means everything to us, and it helps us continue to bring you the latest news, analysis, and updates on our Dallas Cowboys. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!